Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
Welcome to Real Talk. I got writing all over my screen here. Let's see. How did I do that? Do I have the wrong picture up?
I know
My
what it is.
shirt.
I'll text you.
It's my shirt, ain't it?
Is your shirt green?
It's blue. But anyway, hello to everyone. It went away then. Okay. Hello to everyone. Welcome to Real Talk. And congratulations to the one and the only Bishop T. Congratulations.
Thank you. Woo-hoo. And congratulations to the one and only Z. Andre Huff.
Well, thank you. Thank all of you for your support and your prayers. Your prayers worked. They definitely did. We're glad to have all of you on board today. We're going to talk a little bit about the results. Bishop T probably has some information for us before we bring our guest on today. We're looking forward to having a conversation with the head coach of Gadsden City High School football, the Titans. Mr. Ali Smith is going to join us shortly. He's going to join us, and we're looking forward to having that conversation with him. But before we go there, we want to share with you the various ways that you can join us here on Real Talk. One way you can join us is, of course, right here on Facebook Live on Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. You can go to Z Andre Huff page and Tanya Lathan page. And if you share it, people can go to your page. We also have a YouTube channel. That's right. YouTube channel for those that are not on social media. On that YouTube channel, you can just look up Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. Okay. Also, we have a Twitter page. You can shoot us something from time to time. R Talk with Z and T at R Talk Z _T. And we also is on a conference call line On that number is 1646 224 5980. Now, there's a PIN number that goes with that number, and it is 334 1986. And you will have access to hear our interview and our conversations right here on Real Talk. I want to say hello to all the people that are joining us on today. My brother Dana Jermaine is on. Kiki Thomas, hello. Apostle Claudine Crumpler, hello. Miss Alexandria Marbury, Miss Pamela Smith, Stacy Otis, Terrell Townsend, Katrina Davis, hello. And here's your number one fan. I said, here's your number one fan.
Are we on tonight?
Yes.
Come on now.
Miss Tasha Towles.
Hey, Tasha.
Yes, your number one fan.
Thank you. You hear him, don't you?
Doris Payne. Yeah, I'm in my feelings. Yeah. And Minister Di, Miss Treadwell. All right, glad to have you on today, Miss
Miss
Shannon
Treadwell
Riley.
holds down our YouTube page.
She hold it down. Her and Dana J.
Yes,
Hello, Miss
they hold it
Loretta
down.
Jenkins from South Carolina. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna have a great time. There go my former boss, Mr. Wendell Jones, used to be my sergeant at the Edward County Detention Center. Hello, Tracy Payne. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. We know. Have you been able to relax, Bishop? I know you've been getting the calls. I called you the next morning, and it was the afternoon before you really got out of bed because you were just that drained. So how's things going? Have you been resting? Have you been resting?
Yes, I have. I have. When I can, I have. The excitement is overwhelming. The well wishes and just the response, the reaction from the city, from the district, from the community. It's overwhelming, but we are so grateful for it. And really, um, really, I'm still,
Still
kind
trying
of
to process it.
that's a good word for it. That's
Yeah.
a good word. Still trying
Literacy.
to process it.
Literacy is important. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the results. Let's take a look at the results for those that did not get a chance. You see that Mr. Craig Ford and Miss Heather Brothers New will be in a runoff. That's right. They'll be in a runoff. I think that's around September 20. Is it 22nd or 27th? It's somewhere in that area. But they got some weeks to go. And then we all got to return back to the polls. And then we saw where Tanya Latham, Bishop T, won by 58% over her opponents to win District 1. We have Steve Smith, who won by, I think they're saying 56 percent to win his district. Okay. And then for District 3, there's going to be a runoff with Mr. Larry Avery and Miss Ann Jeter. Okay. It's going to be a runoff, and we're going to return back to the polls. For that, it's going to be a runoff between Kent Back and Kerry Machen. It's going to be a runoff. That's for District 4. District 5, Jason Wilson and Billy Billingsley will have a runoff. For District 6, there's going to be a runoff between Miss Dixie Minitra and Miss Renee Stokes Reeves. That's for District 6. And there's going to be a runoff for District 7. That's right, District 7 with Chris Robinson and Mr. Ben Reed. Okay. And then for the Gadsden School Board, I won by 68% to return back to that seat. And then Mark Dayton won by 63% to return back to that seat. So the school board will look identical, the same as it has the last 4 years. So I'm excited about continue to work with my colleagues, and we can continue the work that we have started. And I'm just looking forward to doing all we can for our young people and for our faculties and our staff. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for the congratulations.
Exactly. Thank you.
She's
I
saying
see some, huh?
blurry, not clear. She's saying we're blurry and not clear. Okay. Okay. So we'll get there. Hopefully things are straightened up. But we're excited. We have so many people on. We have 53 people on tonight. 53 people on. And we thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Bishop, do you have some information you would like to share, or you would like to share that at a later date?
Well, we can share it at a later date, but and they still have time. That the Alabama Department of Transportation was has a meeting today from 5 to 7 at the East Gadsden Recreation Center,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to say most of them, if you went today, you picked up this information, but it says for accurate documentation, you are encouraged to submit your written comments at this evening's meeting or by September the 14th, 2022. So probably on our next show, I'll get this information to you so that and think of a way that we can make sure that those the neighborhoods in those districts are able to submit their written comments.
Okay.
But
Was it a
yeah,
lot of people there?
I felt like it was a well attended.
That was
And it
Mr.
wasn't
Taylor. Joe Taylor said it was very well attended. So
yeah.
great.
And you could it wasn't just the meeting where you sit down and they talk to you. As you were able to walk around and really look at the maps and the proposed project, ask questions and all. And so I strongly encourage you, if you didn't get to that meeting, um you can reach out to myself. I'm sure you can reach out to the current council people and get the information that you need so that you can look at those maps and get the information to submit your written comments by September the 14th
Now
to
this
ask whatever
is
questions you need.
now you said it's a meeting, but this is concerning. Tell the people what this is
Right.
concerning.
This is concerning the connecting. Um, I want to use the proper wording. The connecting highway to 759.
Okay, that will
Um,
cover that will actually affect.
It's
Get
called the East Gadsden Connector. And
okay,
so it is going to affect some of those areas in
East
East
Gas
Gadsden. So definitely you
District
want
One and
to
Two definitely gonna be affected. A
more
possibility.
so more so District 2.
Okay,
More so
okay.
District 2.
So we need to get
District 1
involved,
will be
everyone.
affected, but more so District 2.
So if there's any questions that you may have, don't sit back and let people make decisions and you have a gripe and you don't state how you feel about it, or you don't have an understanding and you don't go and try to get in touch. Get in touch with your local your current counselor right now. They should have this information to help you out. Your current counselor, okay? Talk to them, let them guide you and assist you through this. Okay. Thank you, Bishop T. And as the conversations continue, we know that you will be deeply involved and that you will be sharing with the constituents and all of our viewers concerning what is attempting to take place in our city. So thank you so much. Again, say hello to everyone, all of you. Listen, do me one favor, share right now. Just hit the share button right as you look. If you on YouTube, like and subscribe. We would certainly appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Tonight, we have none other than the head coach of the Gadsden City Titans, head football coach, Mr. Ali Smith. I want everybody right now give a warm welcome to first time on Real Talk, the head coach. He doing this thing for the first time right here on Real Talk with us. Show some love to Coach Ali Smith. What's up, brother?
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. Hey, congratulations, Bishop T. Pastor,
Thank
we've
you.
already wish you well. Hey, we pray
Thank
for
you.
you, Bishop T. And hey, we
Thank
know you're
you.
going to do a great, awesome job for us all.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now I do know mom's at work and
Yeah.
you are babysitting. So we're gonna try to get this interview in before the baby kind of get riled up and want daddy. How
Hey,
about
hey,
that?
see, Thursdays is my daddy day. We do that. I get off early on Thursdays. Hey, other than that, hey, it's baby, hey, 12, 14 hours. So usually she sleep when I'm at home. So Thursdays is my early day. So it's
Okay,
me and her.
awesome. Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you on, Coach Ali Smith. Um, and we're gonna talk about this current team. We're gonna talk about the past. You started coaching at I think Emma Sampson. When the schools combined, you've been with Gadsden City High School and on the coaching staff for over 20 years, right?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right.
started at Emma Sanson 9 years, been in Gas City for 16.
Now
Been a
listen,
different
I
coach.
I I, I attempted to play football under your daddy.
Yeah, the Gas
Your
City.
daddy and is it Mitchell Troop
Yeah,
was coaching the what we used to call the Saints,
the Gas and
and
Saints.
and your daddy coached the defense, and Mr. John Smith said get them down the best way you can.
Hey, go get them. Hey,
There
get
wasn't
them.
no techniques, just get them down.
Just get them down. Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, years ago you could tell them just go hit them. You tell them hit them in the head now, you'll have a little trouble.
You have a little trouble now. You have a little trouble now. So listen, man. We appreciate what you do. People that don't know what you do, don't know what the other African Americans role models do, for our young people and with our young people. I appreciate it, and I think we need to just let's talk about first of all uh, some of the things that you do outside of football with your young men that you coach.
Well,
Just share.
yeah, we spend a lot of time with our young men. Football season for the fans in the community starts in August or September, but for us, it don't end. We go year round. We got young men in our program that folks look about scholarships and different things like that. Talk about from a football standpoint, but we got young men that we get jobs locally. We get them around nationally. We get them internships. We do things like that. We have 4 young men that's in our program right now that with the help of Mr. Keith Blackwood, that we think that they're going to be very able to walk right in the door with the Fire Academy and different things like that. So, some of our kids that graduated last year, they went right into working with the city of Gadsden. We had 2 out at the airport and then various others at different little entities. But, we try to make our kids win in the game of life just as well as in the game of football. We've seen that, when I was a young coach, we used to always tell guys at the last basketball game or the last football game, hey, man, is it anything that we could ever help you do? Hey, just let me know. Well, at the end of the day, we say that, but we really didn't have an avenue or anything to do to help those young men. And
Mm-hmm.
so all we could do if we played, they played for us. They got up early in the morning, stayed late, done a lot of things. And then at the end of the day, we give them an award at the end of the day for a banquet, but then we didn't have anything set for them. So now what we try to do is find internships for them. We try to find other avenues for them. Everybody's not going to college. We started out the spring with 114 young men. We have 96 on the team right now. And with the 22, 23 seniors, we have, we got a good little bit that's getting recruited right now, but we may only get 4 or 5 of them that go. So what are we going to do with the other ones? So we got to have.
So you actually had how many seniors to graduate last year?
We had last year we had 25. We had 25 seniors last year. This year we
Okay.
have around 22, 23. And out of that 25, we 8 of them signed football scholarships. And so,
Okay.
and they going off and man, and that's a job. Kids say they want to go and play college ball, but man, that is tough. You know,
Yeah.
that's up there.
I've actually witnessed, and back in your day, Coach Baker.
Oh yes.
Parents knew that he would always he the I know my kid gonna act right if Coach Baker is around.
Oh,
He gonna make them be respectful. He can make them do things that some moms couldn't make them do, single moms. So they weren't concerned, and I think Coach Baker won how many championships?
yeah, he's won one. He won
One
one.
state championship, and it was late in his career.
Yeah,
But
92.
in '92, but the thing that he taught those young men when he was out there at that school, the upbringing, you had parents that love Coach Baker and still love Coach Baker to this day. He's a legend, but he taught life lessons. And I think that's the same thing that I've seen happen with you all giving these kids something to eat. They don't have anything to eat at home. Some of them, you're giving them clothes off your back. I've heard Mr. Reddick say it. My brother said. I heard quite a few people talk about the other things other than that has nothing to do with basketball or football, that you are actually there for those young men. And from me to you and Bishop T, we appreciate what you do, because those are the things when people ask you to be the coach, they didn't factor in, you got to give them gas money. And then factor them in that, you got to feed them every day. About game day,
Exactly.
and I know that Pastor Jones from Real Bone has fed your football teams on game days in the past. And so, the community used to rally around the schools when they played sports back in the day. I don't know if pulling everybody together, that the community got lost in it because we sold Rebel, Eagle, Tiger. Now that we're just the Titans, did the community get lost in the factor, or are we expecting to achieve something higher and do it more than we was doing because we are combined? That's the thing I look at, and I ask the question to the people because there's some noise out there. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You took a hard loss. Your young men took a hard loss this past Friday. Y'all lost 69-7
Yes, sir.
against one of the top teams in Georgia. Also saw where Thompson, who is the top dog in the state of Alabama, got beat by 4 touchdowns, I believe, by a team in Georgia. Let me ask you a question. Do Coach Ali Smith recruit players?
Well, I wish I could, but I can't by the state of Alabama. We just can't do that, and
Okay.
we
By any rules, you can't. Am I
no,
right?
no, no,
And
no.
here and I asked that question for a reason. A lot of these people that are making a lot of noise, and it appear that you're not competing, is because you got a stacked team. A lot of people recruits, they get these players, they move these players into a location or an address that's in the area, and they are recruiting the best players over the state. I know this. You ain't got to say it. I know this. Okay.
It may not just be the state, it may be the country, and go back to what you said about Friday night. Our kids, we played a really, really good football team and 69 points. But were they that good, or did we make them better by making a lot of self-inflicted wounds? I have a video evidence, they solve a lot of crimes that way using video evidence. And so our young men work their tails off Sunday evening. They know exactly what we did as a staff. They know what we did as a team that we didn't do, but we're working to correct that. And so, we know what we had. Our young men have been working since January the 10th. football season just didn't start yet, Friday night. It
Right.
started January the 10th. So we got work to do. And you know, when you talk about the Coach Bakers and the different things, man, it's so much more. People don't see when you're at the hospital at 9, 10 o'clock with a young man that may have broken his ankle. They don't see when you at the hospital with a young man when his dad had just passed and you walking off the practice field. You know, those are the things that go. It's a lot more to go into X and O's than X and O's. You know, and I got some of our young former players that come back and they start coaching, because that's one of the big things that I've been pleased with, that I've been able to hire and employ some of our young men that played, and they be like, "Oh, coach, I didn't know we had to do all that." They just want to come out. And you know, I've got in trouble before by saying recreational coaches. You can't just show up and say, "Hey, I'm coaching in August." No, man, you got to come to the 545 staff meetings in January and February when it's cold and ain't nobody watching. So that's when you put your stuff together.
And see, you know, I heard you say the other day when I was calling you and asking you to come on the show, I heard you asking one of your "Hey, coach, where you going?" They thought the day was over. No, we got a meeting. We got to handle this. You know what I'm saying? You know, the work never ends. The work. Now listen, I was on the sideline outside the fence watching the game. At least four of the touchdowns was turnovers from either interception or fumble. Am I correct?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that your starting quarterback is injured right now. He didn't even play first game, and it's a possibility he won't play come Friday. Am I correct?
Oh, you correct.
And then your second string quarterback ended up getting hurt and got taken out the game. Am I correct?
Yeah, he did, but he came back, and he's young. He's 10th grader, but he's gonna be fine.
Okay, so that was Starks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Sparks. I'm sorry. I don't know why I get started. But then you had another young man. Y'all was just trying to get something going. And then you end up putting in a ninth grader who threw the touchdown, which is a good brother of ours, Wade Franklin, and Tamika Franklin's son, Kai.
Yes.
I've seen some highlights with that young man. Is it a possibility he may see some varsity time?
Well, hey, I would like to, but his dad is a brother of mine, and me and him may go to war on that one. He don't think that he's physically ready for that one yet.
You don't think he feel okay? I understand. I understand.
But we working. Kai's pretty good, but man, our guys have worked their tails off this past weekend, and like I said, weekend all the way through the week, man, getting in correction film. Coach DeRamos has done an excellent job getting them in the video room and showing them where to go with the ball and seeing the hot routes and stuff with blitzes and different things. Man, we played an extremely well coached football team and a extremely complex defense that, you know, those guys do a good job. They have all day to work football and football only.
Right, and that's a big school because that's where my baby girl go to school right now.
Yes.
At Carrollton High School. And I knew before they got here that they were starting a ninth grader as quarterback who has every offer in the United States. They're offering him D1 right now. And we saw the young man is gifted. He's skilled. He gifted. So are you pleased with the effort that your kids gave?
I'm very pleased with the effort our kids got. I never out of the 97 clips from the game film, you're not gonna see our kids taking plays off. Our kids played their tails off. What you will see is some mental errors. We made a lot of mental errors. We made a lot of young mistakes. And so what we've done is we go in and we teach our kids. We don't just coach them, we teach them and show them. You know, we try to go in, and the easiest thing is go in and point fingers and say what happened. I don't even address the game typically on Friday nights with our kids because you need to go back and watch the video to see what actually happened before you go and start telling the kids you didn't do this or you didn't do that. And let's find out why he made the mistake or what happened. You know, we faked the punt. And the young man, he didn't. He thought he got one signal, and he made another bad mistake in the situation. Well, hey, I could have ripped him off. No, I got to talk to him. I got to show him. And we.
Oh, you didn't call that fake punt.
Well, obviously it's on me, but no, the kid got a signal.
Okay, but it can be explained.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people like, well, y'all down there on your own 30.
Yeah.
And you're getting blowed out the water. You gonna make this, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it real because it's real talk. You gonna make that dumb play. You
Yeah.
gonna
That was,
take a punt. Are you serious? And
yes.
you know, people in this, nobody knows what happened,
No.
but you and the team.
Exactly.
So of course, that's bad coaching.
Yes.
You know, I'm standing at the fence, and let's just address the elephant in the room. I'm standing on the fence, and me and my brother, he on the field, and I'm on the other side of the fence, and he's saying, you know, we got people out here walking by. Man, that's pitiful, man. You know, that's $10 I done gave away. $10 I done lost. You know, and they saying these things, and not only do they say it out in the public and in the stands, but they saying it on social media where your young people and their parents are looking at that. My child, I don't care, is my child on the team. You talking about my child as well as and don't be saying, well, I ain't talking about your child. I'm talking about the coaches, because coaches don't get on fields. The children do. So here's the thing I said at the pep rally out there at Carver. I said, we have Gadsden City fans has the worst reputation. I said, now the reputation is not what you really are, is what people think and say about you. And I said, and that is, we don't know when to cheer. We don't know how to cheer our kids on. We can criticize all day long, but who's cheering our kids on? And that's the statement I made. I have announced, you know, I announced the basketball team this past year. The beginning of the game, starting lineup. I'm calling out, and I'm talking about, I'm hyping up Shamar Huff, and you got at home. We at home. I'm like, what is wrong with these fans? But they loud as you know what when things are going wrong. But you ain't even giving them a head start when the game start to even cheer these young people on. The visiting side is louder than our fans are at home. All we got is a lot of coaches and a lot of critics that's sitting in the doggone stands. That what can you know? Here's my thing. I hate to see my community divided. I hate to see my community divided. I hate to see people that we know, we grew up around, that we done spoke to and had conversations with, get out and blast and say things where other folks can see this, instead of just being a man or a woman and say, can I have a talk with you? Can we sit down? Can we just talk about some stuff? Can I share my concerns? And let them hear you out and you hear them out, instead of just for the public to hear us bash each other, because the other communities are laughing. Now, let me say this. We ain't always, this ain't the first time Gadsden City football team done lost the game. We lost games under other coaches, but I didn't hear the noise. Not from our community. It's amazing that we feel like we got the right to say what we want to say and tear a brother down when one of us get in position. You see what I'm saying? And that's the issue that I have. What can I do to help? Need to be the question.
Yeah. Let me say this. For me, I apologize to the naysayers that I don't hear them. I be so busy that I ain't got time to, I'm working on the kids and stuff. Now, people do come by and say stuff, but if they say they feel like they wasted money, I assure you that tomorrow, when those 3 charter buses at $1,500 a walk, they won't, the money's not wasted. So we appreciate it. But, for Coach Baker and I'm learning under the tutelage of Coach Baker, many other coaches that I've coached under and worked under, it tells you you got to keep the tunnel vision and stay focused on the task at hand. You can't worry about what people saying or what people are doing outside of that. Now, for us, nowadays that the social media, so people have more of a voice that normally wouldn't have a voice, and it don't affect the coaches, because if you've been trained correctly as a coach, you can't listen at the outside. No, you got to have tunnel vision, and you got to know that when you sign up for this, you got to have alligator skin, and you can't make decisions based off what someone's saying. You got to make decisions based off of your judgment. And coaches have a judgment, and sometimes your judgment stinks. And that's just in life. If you get out there and you sitting at a red light and it's turning yellow, and you think that you can make it through, and then you go through and get T-boned, hey, that was your judgment and it stunk. So for us in our community, I don't know, but I have heard some of our kids say stuff. I feel bad for our children, not for me, not for my adults on the staff, because when they come in, I tell them, hey, Gadsden's a tough place to coach. My high school coach, Buster Fred Gross, when he went into the Hall of Fame in Montgomery, his statement was, hey, I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I coached in the deathbed of coaching, Gadsden, Alabama.
Wow.
And so those are some of the things that have stuck with me over the years. I know how tough it was. When I got ready to take on the job, I had many, many people telling me, Ali, don't mess up your reputation as a coach, as a person in this state by taking the job at Gadsden City. Well, this is my home, and I'm going to work my tail off for these students, athletes at Gadsden City, in the hallways in the morning, during the lunchtime, doing after school. I ain't worrying about what people saying. Let's get out here and let's do something for our children, for our community. A lot of people can talk a lot of stuff. Your actions speak a hell of a lot louder than your dang on words. So I don't know. I feel like when you're a man or a woman, I tell our parents, because I do a PowerPoint presentation to our team, and I tell them, I say, hey, if we got a problem, let's come in, let's talk like women, men, and then let's go and let's sit in here. Because at the end of the day, when you get on Facebook or social media, we all lose. There's no way that you can come back from that if you're a parent. Hey, these student athletes see us as coaches in one way, and you may see us in one way. These student athletes, but they live with you. They around you. You got to understand the impact that you have on them mentally, psychologically, when you do things like that. And if you say you're really worried about the kids, you can't be if you're doing those type things that I'm hearing that's being done. You got to stay locked in for the children if you're really worried about them, because it takes a village to raise a child, and not just in athletics. Hey, what are we doing with these children in the summertime? What are we doing with them in the winter, in the spring? Well, when the ball isn't bouncing, what are we doing when they're skipping out on study hall? What are we doing when they're late for class? And I've been in this school system since 1997. I've seen it all. It ain't too much I hadn't seen. And so, you can't really worry about what they're doing. You got to dang on put your head down, go to work. And that's what our players have to do. That's what our cheerleaders have to do. That's what our teachers have to do in the classroom every day out there at Gadsden City. People mostly likely don't have a problem with Gadsden City. They probably more likely have a problem with the people at Gadsden City that's running Gadsden City. Because when you look at Gadsden City is a building. It's a beautiful facility. All you got to do is ride up on it. Man, our facility, our campus is probably one of the prettiest in the state, definitely in the Northeast. So we got to understand what we have. It's pretty comical to me when I don't even hear it. What I'm saying? Trust me, I got a.
But let me tell you, the people that love you hear it, because I couldn't find you to tag you in the post today because you don't have a Facebook page, but your wife do.
There you
go. Your son do.
Yes, sir.
Your aunties and your mom do. You see what I'm saying? Your dad do. So, people, they it doesn't make any sense to me for people to do some of the things they do, when all you got to do is sit down with the individuals that you have issues with and try to get an understanding. Yes. Try to get an understanding. But, we live in that type of society, that type of world, and we're going to be okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I tell you, when you go with that, man, I have coaches on my staff that have businesses. And man, if it wasn't for my staff, sometimes some of my kids wouldn't eat or have employment. And our kids are so tight together that you always have someone that you can't make everyone happy, but for the vast majority of our kids, man, we have a real good time. And I tell our parents, make your kid high school experience memorable. And like I have said, with us, when we leave out there tomorrow and we leave out of Gadsden City parking lot, the chief of police will be with us because he traveled, because he support the heck out of us. Doggone, our
Right.
kids will be dressed just as nice as can be. Macedonia Baptist Church is going to feed us tomorrow. Man, we got a lot of parents that'll be going with us. And guess what? That's what we have to keep the eye on and the ball on. When we leave out of football, it's time to go up and we're trying to support Coach Huff in basketball. We all have things that we think about, but do people realize that in the state of Alabama, there's probably not a more decorated active coach than Coach Huff, because he hadn't won a state championship at Gadsden City? Sometimes we get a bad rap, but do we realize that Coach Huff was on the last basketball championship at Gadsden High School? I was on the last basketball championship in the city of Gadsden in '92 with Coach Baker. So I hear all this. We got to get back to our winning ways. We got the city of champions. Well, the last time there was a champion was in 1992. I don't have a lot of money, but I got 10 $100 bills that if anybody can show me a national or local or high school champion in the last 10, 15 years in any sport, that I'm saying from the Gadsden City school system or anything, maybe 20 years, because it ain't happening. Our kids have been very, very competitive. If we don't consolidate Gadsden City, I don't know if we got guys playing in the NFL. I don't know if we got national merit scholars in academics. I don't know if we got kids all over the country doing things. We got architects and stuff. I got a young man right now that just graduated a couple years ago. He's an architect down at Auburn, and he's he's about to help us do some things. And we got people all around the country doing things at Gadsden City, and we're excited about that. So we can't listen at the naysayers. Our kids, we got kids in the military, and we got kids that's doing things everywhere. So action speaks.
Yeah, and that's the thing we say: college and career ready.
College and career ready.
College and career ready. That's what we're concerned about. What after this? Because even Dre Kirkpatrick spent his years in the NFL. Dre pretty much, can retire from the NFL. And where is he at? On the sideline, coming back. Just watch his son. But he also had a relationship with you that if it wasn't for Coach Ali Smith taking him and Jarrell and some of these other kids on these trips, would they have got the exposure, got to the D1 to Alabama like they did? They know that you did more than just on the sidelines for practice and the coach. There was something that Wade said that I think this sums up everything. Win, lose, or draw, we're the Titans.
Without a doubt.
We're the Titans. The band need to keep playing. The fans need to keep cheering. And we need to continue to be positive because it ain't going to always be like this.
There you go.
Right. And let me kind of jump in here for just a moment. And I'm going to ask 2 or 3 things at one time. Okay. You can kind of answer them how you want to. First of all, how long have you been head coach for the Titans?
This is my 4th season, but I didn't get hired officially until July the 6th or 9th of 2019. So it's really 3.5 years, but it's okay. But it's my 4th actually season.
Okay. I think about why you're sitting here, and you were saying the things you were saying. Pastor was saying the things that he was saying. The climate. There's something in the climate. If you think about it, the young man that was killed on the sideline, the coach that was shot a few weeks ago, and I don't know if that was high school football,
Pee-wee football.
Football. It's a different climate now, and we're living in this council culture. That if you don't produce, the first thing people want to do is get rid of you. But I had a very short conversation with you at the pep rally.
Yes, ma'am.
And people don't understand that teams are young, and you have to build those programs. You have to build those programs to make them what they need to be. So my suggestion before I ask my questions to fans is this: if you are a fan, you are a fan. Win or lose, you're gonna be there. Win or lose, you're going to cheer. I know sometimes the loss hurts and you it's hard to cheer, but those are the kind of fans that maybe we need to work on. Um, that we need to work on producing. But my first question is, what are your long-term goals for the program to grow the program and make the program what it needs to be? And not that we're all wins and losses and win-win championships, but what's your long-term goal? Um, and I guess if you want to share your short terms as well, that's fine to get to that place to where we are competing on that level successfully, and maybe even bring home a championship. That's my first terms, your long term goals. And then secondly, is there it I know you're building the program, but the thing is it could is there anything that you could use or help that you need, whether from the community or from the department, to strengthen the team, to strengthen what you do?
Well,
I don't know about my second question. Did you kind
yeah.
of
Yeah,
get what
I
I was saying?
understand. I
Okay.
understand. But the long term goal, we're working towards that now. You take our middle school program, we combined it 2.5 years ago, and we're working to develop where when our children come, we have a strength and condition nutritionist now at our middle school. So they working with our 7th and 8th graders that now when we get them, the first time they're lifting weights or being understanding what we need, because our days are long at Gadsden City. When we get our kids typically at 1:20, 1:30. Our kids don't leave at 6:30. They're in film study. They don't just come and just go out to football. They lift weights, they watch film, they take quiz on their opponents, they have packets. So when I say that, we're trying to teach our 7th and 8th graders that they have to be at practice, say Labor Day. We already know that Monday to September the 5th, you moms and dad, success is sacrifice is success. So if your child gonna be on the team, you got to say, hey, well, we know that Labor Day his school is out, but my son gonna have to be at practice. Coach, we gonna have to make the sacrifice. We give the schedule out in January. So they already know that you can't go. So what we're trying to develop long term is that we're not missing practice with no excuses. And that goes with not just the kids, but mom, dad, everybody. You have to understand that we have to be there. We have to be at work. So we talk about that with the parents. We're developing that. So as we go through, going into year 4, we feel like we're close and we're getting there. Our kids know right now today. If you ask our student athletes at Gadsden City in the football program, and you ask them what day is the state championship game, they know December the 2nd is that state championship game. They know what they're working towards. They're not going to drop their head for early failures, because we look at losses as learning experience, and that's what we have to.
It's not really a
Our
loss.
learn our long term goal is to develop a winning culture on off the field, in the classroom, when they go home, even if they going in a bad situation, they can change it. We took a group of about 22, 23 young men over to the United Way kickoff today. And they listened to Jeremiah Castile. And he talked about the things he went through as a young man in the house, growing up with his dad. And our kids, they understand that you can't use your circumstances as an excuse. You can work out of that. Football is a door and an avenue. I got a PowerPoint and a presentation I do, football versus life. I try to teach our kids that if you late, there's consequences. That if you miss, there are consequences. Hey, it is what it is. I sit kids when they don't do what they supposed to do
Right.
sometimes, and we lose, and sometimes because that kid may have probably been better than the other kid. But am I doing a kid by just playing in that night? Am I really helping him as a person?
You're
Or
not.
or am I using him just as an athlete for my success? Because I'm gonna be okay. I want to teach our young men how to be good men, how to be good daddies, how to be good neighbors, how to be good husbands, all that. I say this lightly. Me and another one, our coach, we get kids all the time. We have to do depositions and different things where attorneys that come by when our kids have gotten in trouble well away from ball. And we try to tell them, hey man, don't do this, don't do that. And then when they gone and they get out there and get in trouble, all the negative stuff they were listening to, well, they can't go to those people to help them. They have to come back to us to try to help us get them. And like right now, we're praying like crazy. We got a one situation. It's pretty rough for one of our former players, and we stay with our guys.
This individual has been away from the program for how many years?
He's been away. I wasn't even the head coach, and
so he's been gone, and he's coming. They coming back because they need your help.
They need our
and
help.
Like you said, the naysayers, they can't go to them for help.
No,
they coming to y'all, the ones
exactly.
Right.
And it's not just the coaches. They got they teachers in the building that's having to do things. This thing that's called education, what we're in, this ain't a recreational sport. This ain't recreational ball. We actually really work under the state of Alabama. This is our livelihood. This is what we do. When you signed up for this, you got to really care. I can't get mad and say, man, I ain't going back out there tomorrow. No, this is what we do. This is the job. I don't get to sit around and gossip about somebody else's job, or we are part of the entertainment, and we understand that, and that comes with it. And we want to put more smiles on the fans and the people of the city of Gadsden. We want it to mean the city of champions. When you drive in on the 4 different parts of Gadsden, you see that sign say city of champions. Well, guess what? We hadn't raised one since 1992. And ain't nobody can tell you no different. There's not a national champion in nothing in Gadsden, Alabama. Because if it was, we don't celebrate them. They don't have a parade or something. It may be a lot of other things, but we want our kids to walk away from Gadsden City football and Gadsden City High School a better young man. And we want to be able to compete with anybody, regardless if we want our kids that our program is such a good program and attractive that kids that you can't entice them to leave. They parents know when they drop them off that we're going to treat them all fairly. And that they going to, the worst team on the player on the team going to get treated just like the best player on the team. There's no difference. We're going to raise our young men the right way.
Now, let me ask you something, and you may have to educate me real quick on this. And this is something that I heard and something that you just said when you were talking about the long-term goals. Now, on the middle school is one team now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The middle school is one team. I don't want this to be a dumb question. Little League football, or should I say, is that early enough? Because from what I understand, have we cut Little League out? We haven't cut Little League out.
No, you talking about Pee Wee football.
No, not Little League. Pee Wee football.
Right.
Pee Wee football.
Pee
Wee football still. Okay, I thought I heard something a couple of weeks ago that there was only 1 or 2 teams, or that something to that effect. So I was about to ask, is middle school early enough, or that with the real need for the Pee Wee leagues in order to introduce technique before middle school? But if it's not cut out, then that's
yes, ma'am. But Bishop, I'll say this, and I tell our kids this, and I say this, I had to learn this. There's no dumb questions in my book. I don't see it as being a dumb question, because hey, we need dialogue. If we don't talk, if we don't open, I think that's where problems arise. Like people say they said, and I tell people, I don't want to hear who is they. let's talk to they. So
and that's why you're here today. That's why I wanted you to come on.
Day, it's no day. Let's who is they? Let's sit down and look at one another. We can agree to disagree, but it is what it is. But what I look at, and with our city and different things, when we're talking about the youth league, I get calls and talking about the youth leagues, what we should or can't do or whatnot. But we don't have really jurisdiction under the youth leagues. Now we can help them as much as we can, but we try to. And there's two different teams that I know of right now, the Little Titans and then the Little Tigers. And so for what I would say is, what I don't think is too early or too late in middle school, but it will be nice for them to play early. But I think we need to make sure that it's been done the proper way, regardless
Right.
of who's doing it. When Coach talked about when Daddy and the troops and those people coached back years ago, and Mr. Theodis, the Raymond's, and so many people, they took so much pride in what they were doing. It wasn't, I'm gonna follow this group of kids, I'm gonna follow them. Well, when they gone, because it's a win mentality at all costs now, because we're so social media driven that it's not, we don't want to take the time to develop. We are embarrassed to fail. We don't want to take the lumps, and so people worry about what the naysayers, instead of saying, hey man, I'm gonna just develop these kids and teach them the fundamentals. Hey, they're not very good right now, but we can build them up. And so I looked at something like, I proposed this to people and threw it out that, hey, maybe, hey, we got eight elementary schools in the Gadsden City school system. Hey, we could create a flag football league at all 8 elementaries and just play in our league. When you talk about trying to play the Hoovers and the Vestavias, and well, they have their own league, and so it's hard for our kids sometimes to get the quality competition. And they tell that, you hear people say, well, they need to play these people, that's who they're gonna be playing. Well, you have to play who you can play, or you're gonna have to travel a real long way on Saturdays, and that's tough on mamas and daddies. And what if you got 2 or 3 kids, or you got 2 football players and a cheerleader? That's really tough. And we sit here, if our city government and our school system, if we could do youth football, youth basketball, youth track and field, youth baseball. You could do that through the schools. You were Brown, Thompson, Floyd, Walnut Park, and you may find kids that will open up avenues and getting them to do things that we never thought. We got a beautiful tennis court we've set out there now. You may find the next Venus and Serena with those type things. So that's why I don't think it's too early or too late, for student athletes at any point, because you really don't know. That's a guy that coached with us right now at the middle school. I still remember when I became the defensive coordinator, someone told me that he will never, if he ever play, will never win a game. And he started, and we won a whole bunch of games with that kid, and he didn't ever start it until his senior year, because he didn't develop till late. And that's what you have to. Everybody want instant success instead of waiting to let it see and let it see. And we so excited of what we have in our program right now, that we see it, we know what we got, and our kids see what's coming, what's ahead of us. You can't worry about, a guy, a dear friend of mine out in Houston, he always tell me, he say, hey coach, why is the front windshield larger than the back windshield? Show me one car that's made in the world that the back windshield is larger than the front. And I can't show him. And that's the reason, because it matters more what's going on in front of you than what's behind you. So, we got to just keep moving and keep your head down.
I like that.
Yeah. I know I asked a lot, but I want you to, I think it'll be important for our viewers as well. What, if anything, is there anything, and if, to make the program better that you need, if there's a wish list?
Well, for us, my vision and my goal, and I tried to start this even before I became the head coach. People say a lot. I would like, and I tell our kids this, that Gadsden City can take a beating right now because our oldest alumni is 30-something years old. So they still, the brain part, they say the frontal lobe. There's a reason why you don't let them drive till they 16. There's a dang on reason why they can't buy a firearm till they 18. Well, our alumni association has got to get stronger for us. And then I think things will happen. The size of school that Gadsden City should have, we should have homecoming week. It should be kicked off of a homecoming dinner, homecoming lunches, all types of things. The biggest crowds that come to Gadsden City is for old school. And you got to support the young men and young women in the doors of Gadsden City. What I need personally for us, It's just that when you see our young men embrace them, we ride our neighborhoods and you see signs of other schools in our city district. We got to support and you got to doggone embrace these young men. When you beat them down, you got guys that smile in the face. It ain't about you, it's about the coach. Well, it can't be about the coach because it's about the young men. We grown. Handling the grown person business face to face, or man to man, or woman to woman. That's grownness. You're hurting children. That's
Right.
where when you do that. Now, like I said, I hadn't seen it affect our children because our kids have bust their butt. Our attendance hadn't been down. Our kids worked their tails off.
Well,
But
you had a great attendance for that
yeah.
first game. Great
Oh,
attendance.
man,
And we don't want people to get it twisted. You're going
No.
to see some exciting football once
man.
we get some of these kids healthy.
Yeah.
And we got
now,
some really good players, man. We got Clyde Curry, man. He's already got offers. You got Aaron Woods. He's got offers. Man, Stephen Jones. We got some great kids. Khalil Hughley. Man, we got some really Jackson Beasley. Man, we got some young.
You got Drake
really
Kirkpatrick
great
Jr.
Kirkpatrick Jr. Man, we got kids that, and the thing is now I told Pastor this that we do have to do better. But we know a lot of people around the country, and you get text message and you get correspondence, and they say, "Coach, what's wrong with those people?" You get more respect outside around the country, and we can't do that because, contrary to what some people may think, people are maybe thought of a lot better. And our student athletes know this, that when recruiting season starts, man, it's very a day that college coaches from around the country are not in our building. And so for us, when you do that, you could affect our children.
That's right.
Because we are
They're watching social media.
Yes,
they're definitely watching it.
We have what's called a Pixelot camera, and they watch everything that we, they watch all our ball games around the country and different things. So we have to be mindful of what we're doing, and how we make our city look, how we make our school look, and definitely how we make our community look. So those are some of the things that we have to be mindful of because you're not bashing adults, because that's what they sign up for. That when they come there, when you get into coaching, I don't care where you coach at, you better understand, regardless of what they ain't gonna level you coach at, some days it's gonna get tough, man. And if you think you spending 14, 15 hours away from home and you want to dang gonna get the lining kicked out of your pants, or you ain't trying, hey man, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Let's talk about that again, because I think that's very important, that some people may not be aware of. When you get on social media and you dog out the teams, regardless if you're trying to address the coaches, but when you act like the team is pitiful and you're dogging out the team and the coaches, it will stop recruitment from coming this way. I know some recruitment that will have come to just straight to Anderson High School, and they just 30 minutes away from coming to Gadsden, and they'll turn around and go back to Georgia, go back to Tuscaloosa, or wherever, because of the effect that the fans have when they put stuff on social. And they think, well, I ain't friends with Nick Saban. I ain't friends with Dabo Swinney. You don't have to be friends with them. People see this. And if they think that the team is not worth them coming and watching to see if they have somebody on their team to watch, and they hearing all this negative press, they won't even come this way. And thank God you have a relationship with Nick Saban and with my cousin Tyrone Nix and some of the other people that has been working. Let's say, what my man name? He grew up in the village. Andre, come on, hit me out now.
Andre
played for Emma Sampson. It's a big lineman. He used to coach.
Brick Haley.
We call him Brick Haley. So these guys has ties to Gadsden. So it's nothing for them to pick up a phone and call coach. But what about those that don't have ties to Gadsden? That when they see this negative press, it hurts our kids from getting looked at. Right?
And, we say this, that coaches understand things, but we also, I'll tell this story in short. We had some young men that was very high profile, and it's a very high profile college coach that has made we've talked about that when those kids went away, that there were things where that was said just outright wasn't true. And I told our parents this past spring on March 23rd when we had our parent meeting. I said, hey guys, the one thing I've learned about this job, and that I used to hear things from the previous coaches, one thing I learned that people just tell the big L, just make up stuff. And
Yeah.
that hurt some of our kids when they went off to college years ago, about people giving them and gave them and this and those things. Just people just make up things. And sometimes I think that we make people relevant through social media and do things that way. And me, I'm just focused on what we're doing. I'm excited for our young men to get a chance to go out and compete tomorrow, represent our school, represent our city in the right way, and do it the right way. I look forward for them. I pray that we have a good fan showing and following. And when when our kids continue to run out those tunnels, and when they run off, you pat them on the back. I go back and think about when we did play for Coach Baker, and when you guys were over at Gadsden High, and you call out the lineups in that Litchfield, then people just go crazy.
Go
When
crazy.
they just go crazy.
I remember we used to walk in when we used to come over Emma Samson in that orange. We
Yeah.
walk in, the Emma Samson boo, and the gas and high go crazy. Used to love that. I'll be
Oh
honest
man,
with you, as a player, you love to hear the people cheer.
you
Love
couldn't
to hear the
wait.
people cheer.
You couldn't wait for it.
Couldn't
You
wait.
could not wait for it.
I'm telling you.
But I'll tell you, man, our kids are boys. And we don't have a bunch of choir boys, but man, you get up, I don't even feel like I'm going to work. I've been over there messing with them kids since '97. I get up, boy, they drive you crazy sometimes, but I enjoy going, working with them doggone knuckleheads and having a good time with them. You get on to them, then doggone you have a love-hate relationship with them when you really want to say it, because it's just how it is, And you know how coaches are. You get when you talked about Dre earlier, man, I used to get on Dre so hard. And then when he told me, asked me to be his godfather to the kids and stuff, man, that, you like, really? You know what I'm saying? So those things right there, man, it makes a difference, man. And we got to figure out a way to move our city, our teams, everything forward. But it takes all us working together, man. And good things gonna come. We got the weather storm, good things coming to Gadsden City, man. You just
We
come out
believe
there
it.
and look at that complex that they just built out there, man.
Beautiful.
It's awesome, man.
Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait till the first baseball game. When I tell you that thing is beautiful, that
Yeah.
is beautiful.
And they're gonna be good.
I just want to say something, and I hope y'all don't start throwing tomatoes at me and emailing me. And I know some people may get upset with what I'm about to say. Stop going. I hate it when we have to. We're not doing anything by being throwing and acting crazy with these coaches and anybody else on Facebook. It's just in our minds that the only way some of us know to air something out or to get an understanding is from Facebook. I mean, that's almost like me going into a restaurant. The service was bad. I don't say anything to the people in the restaurant. I just pull out my phone and go on social media and go off. We've got to stop that. I would encourage anyone that has an issue. I have enjoyed this interview with you. I've never really we say one or two words and we keep it moving.
Yes, ma'am.
But for you to sit here and really say you're open, that we can come and talk to you. That's what we need to do. Parents, concerned citizens, whoever you may be.
You know what?
This man has an open door policy.
Bishop, I say this. I tell our kids, I tell our parents this. I tell anybody this. We record everything we do on the practice field. We record the weight room. We record the off season. We like to do that. So when somebody says that this ain't going on. Hey, I tell our coaches, hey man, it's hazardous to coach in Gadsden now. If you want to be, are you sure? Hey, it's hazardous now because you know, and so you gotta have that. You gotta have that alligator skin. But I
Right.
tell people, I tell parents, I'll tell anybody, come spend a week, not a day. Hey, start on Sunday, 8 o'clock. You get your break, go to church. You got to be back at 2 though now. Then you come spend that whole week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We give you Saturday off, and then come back on Sunday. That's during the season. Now, during the off season, like you get Saturday and Sunday. But I want you to spend a week with us. Don't spend a day. You might can make it through that. Let's see. Then we'll see if you really, really want. Cause I get young guys say they want to coach all the time. Then they do job shadowing. Then they slip out. They won't come back. But because they think that it's just the
Good
work.
thing you do. Good thing you do job shadowing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if
they
you hire them, you'll be empty
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
coaches.
They do that. Then they sit in there. Hey, I had a guy at the conference. He told me, he said, "Coach, you kept me in there for 8 hours and still didn't hire me, man. I don't know about that." So we try to do it right, man. And let's don't talk about it. Hey, like I said, your actions speak a heck of a lot louder.
Take a
Hey,
look at
Pastor
this.
Huff,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to
Go
ask.
ahead.
If
Go
we
ahead.
could,
Go ahead, Bishop.
is we, Mr. Robinson, Lacey Robinson put a very booster club. How do we become a part of the booster club? What does it take? Tell us what we need to do,
We
and let's work on getting that booster club where it needs to be.
we have started and we've tried numerous times through our parent organization. We've also tried it through the alumni association, football alumni, and I tell those guys that for me, I can help you from the month of December to February. But once February hit, I'm back in football. I don't stop football until again in December. So, for our booster club, we have one. We have an organization. Mr. Ashley, Kevin Ashley is the booster club president. Tamika Franklin is our treasurer. We Sean Malone is also a officer in that. So we'll put that information out if people want to join it. We've also had a Titan Booster Club store where people could buy apparel. When you go out to
Now,
the
where
store,
is that at?
but we discontinued it because we would set it up through Wagner Sports that we with, and nobody buys. And we don't get that. We get more. Hey, coach, y'all give me this, yeah. But
Yeah,
we
because I'm gonna say something about the apparel because I was looking for a jersey to wear to the pep rally. I'm a little extra, so it was a pep rally at Carver, and I'm going to stores trying to find a football jersey so I could resemble, the football team. And I've had people say you can't find Gadsden City Titans stuff in none of these. Matter of fact, people went to East Gadsden Sporting Good, and they said we can make you a shirt, but we need some apparel and in these stores. This is Gaston. That is the only high school we have. I see other people's, Glencoe and some of these other people's stuff out. I don't know what can we do in order to get apparel in these stores where even when you purchase the apparel, that some of the money will come to the football program or the basketball, baseball program. But what can we do about that?
Hey, I'll tell you this, that's something we'll have to talk to Coach Lambert about. At one point, Dollar General, different stores and stuff was carrying our apparel and different things like that. So we started kind of doing it on our own in some ways. So I'll follow back up with you on that in terms of, but we will definitely get the information out on our school website about how to join the Booster Club. And it was $25 to join. We would and then you would get a T-shirt, a Booster Club T-shirt, different things like that.
So let me ask one more question while we're there. Is there someone from the Booster Club that's at the games that signs up for Booster Club?
No, ma'am. We hadn't got there. We
Okay.
tried that initially, and I tell you, one of the things that happened is that what we will say is like we have a parking crew. I have to get my middle schools to do parking, and so we do the parking, and we can't get anybody to do that because everybody want to go in and watch the ball game. Sacrifice is success. Somebody's got to make the sacrifice. So we don't really have anything. We hadn't had that since 2006. Let's just be honest. That those are just things that are the foundation. When you talking about long term goal, that's what we got to get a strong booster club, not just in football, but in basketball, in our baseball, in our track and field. We say we want to. Let's figure out. And I know I need to be more inclined to get the information out for you guys. But we do have a way that you can join, and I have our athletic secretary, put that out tomorrow morning.
Watch this. Let's listen to some of our viewers, and they've said a lot. We got 124 viewers on right now. 124.
That's what I was about to say.
The biggest number we ever had. So, you got a lot of support, Coach, regardless of the noise. You got a lot of, a mouse squeaking.
We appreciate it.
One little mouse squeaking at night when the house is closed down, you can hear the little mouse, right?
But when you turn the lights on, you can't see him and you don't hear him when you turn the lights on.
That's right.
There you go.
Right. So, okay, he said, Coach Smith, tell us what to do. You said community support, be specific. How can we help? What can we do? Do you need a food crew? What? Tell it.
Yes, we would like to have a food crew. That would be awesome. Right now what we doing, how we feed our kids on game day, we going to different churches. Church of the Highland has been awesome for Gadsden City football over the last 2 years. With water, pallets of water, whatever, because we don't try not to use the squeeze bottles much because of COVID and different things. So we use bottles of water, and Church of the Highlands has been jam up for us. They fed us last week. Again, Macedonia is going to feed us tomorrow. So they could contact Miss Tamika Franklin in terms of getting together on, if you have a church or somebody want to feed the team on game day, things like that. But our lunchroom cafeteria, a lot of times they feed us. But what we have, on game day, our kids eat in that cafeteria for breakfast. They eat in there for lunch. So, in their mind, they see the ladies back there, they respect the heck out of them. They love being around them, but they like, that's lunchroom food. So, those are things that hospitality crews that, we could come up with. And we got a good little bit of parents that they will work. They just need resources and need some help. And, moms and dad wants to be out there to see their kids playing when the game starts.
Right.
So we feed our kids before and after every ball game. And so, when we on the road, we travel pretty heavy. We give our kids, we feed them out there again and before. So we try to take care of them. And so there's a lot of things that can be done to make a big program. We talk about the team that came over and gave us a shellacking last Friday. You got to look at how did they come into games as well? How did they set up? And my staff of 11, I got 11 coaches. I got 5 on offense, 5 on defense, and myself, that's 11. I have my middle school guys, and I have my equipment guys, and they earn every penny breaking down and setting up for those young men every Friday night. So we'll get more information out as we need it.
Okay, let me ask you this: How many total for as players and coaches? How many people do you have, just in case someone was thinking about feeding?
125. We go with
125 people. Good.
Yes, that's with trainers and everyone.
Right. Now look at this right here. We talk about some apparel. Sierra King said, let me see that. CK Creations has you covered. Minister Dye said, go to CVS. They have some apparel. She said, get your orders in today. And somebody said you can't find Gadsden GS shirts. Okay. So let's get your orders in. Get your orders in. Let's see. We want to carry it in Gadsden variety and do exactly that. This is Heather New Brothers that is running for mayor in a runoff. So we got some people. Walmart has a limited supply. So okay, let's do this. Let's talk about this real quick. You're no longer 7A. You're 6A now. So can you name your area teams that you'll be facing this year?
Yes, we'll start out. We got Hewitt Trust on tomorrow night. Then we'll go into playing Buckhorn the week after. Then we'll follow up with Fort Payne. Then we'll go into May Jemison up in Huntsville. Lee. And then we'll go over to Leah Huntsville, and then Hazel Green. We'll have those. That's our area right there. The top four go into the playoffs. We'll cross with the Coleman area. That Coleman, Hartselle area up in that area 9. So we look forward to getting in our region play. Very favorable in certain areas, and the playing field a little bit more even for us. Our numbers ain't where they used to be. We got a good bit of young men out, but our numbers not right now. The other night we played some 10th graders and 9th graders, and typically at Gadsden City, man, Jakari Kenny years ago was the first 9th grader to play.
That was Rod Orr's son, right?
And that was very rare. Then you had Anthony Swain that played as a 9th grader. Anthony ended up playing at Auburn. Auburn. We didn't have a lot of 9th graders at Gadsden City playing, and so you got to look at the dynamics. Things aren't the numbers aren't what they used to be, but that's no excuse. We're not making excuses. And people say, well, why y'all play character? Because we're gonna compete. That's the bottom line. You can't be scared to fail in nothing you do. Whether nothing.
And you always play bigger and better teams to prepare you for your area. Everybody know that.
The thing is, and I'm gonna say this, then I do got to go because a couple of my coaches been calling me because we do a Thursday night cover sheet, and but I'm gonna say this, but you can say that, but man, when you've been an athlete, I'm talking about an athlete. You got a ball, man. You got a ball, and so you don't worry about people saying things silly and stuff like that, because when you've been out there sweating in football, basketball, baseball, you running, you doggone competing, the coach hollering at you can't do nothing right that day, man. You respect coach kids, you respect what they do because you've been through it. You don't hear Robert Williams, you don't hear a Cadillac, you don't hear doggone guys that was all state players making comments, because they understand where it been. That don't come from athletes. Athletes respect athletes, so you have to understand where your source or the bitterness. And like I said, I ain't hearing it, but I'm listening to you. But the motivation drives you. But you don't hear that from people that's locked in, ready to go, that's been ballers, that's been athletes. If you've been an athlete, you know what I'm talking about. When the coach, man, you can be doing your thing and then coach go at you. You see what I'm saying? When you've been that guy and you've been out there and you competing against your guys, man, when we won the state championship, I starting 5 with Jason and Rob and all those guys, man, we used to battle like crazy in practice. And sometimes we felt like our second team was better than some of the teams we played. And some of us didn't touch the court. And we went 28-1. And doggone we battled. You competed. And when you a competitor, that's what you tell. You don't tell no dang on kid, man, that's the coach. That's the easiest dang on cop out in the world. Man, you get your butt up and you go play. I coached my son. My son didn't start at Gadsden City. I was the head coach. My son was there. My son, a heck of an athlete. But doggone, my son didn't start till he was a senior. He played a ton. And then he's doing a really good job where he's at right now, doing an excellent job. But he had to earn his stripe. Man, don't nobody give you nothing in life. And that's what, if they playing for me, that's what I'm going to teach them. They ain't getting nothing for free with me. They going to learn how to beat their butts at school. Like I told them today, they get there in the morning at 7 to 7:40 to get dressed to go to school for what they win for a ball game, to school for our team stuff tomorrow. Hey, man, if you late, you just ain't getting it. Hey, and I'm not going to baby them, because guess what? Life going to hit our kids in the face. And then when things happen on the strip, then things happen and our kids do it, don't be fussing because we ain't done what we supposed to, or we holding their butts accountable. They miss practice, they got to be held accountable. They late, they got to be held accountable. We got to do better for ours to do better. Let's don't blame nobody else, man. Look in the mirror. Let's take it off. Michael Jackson, man in the mirror. That's why I don't meet with my kids and say nothing to how we lose, how we win, or nothing until I see the game on Saturday morning. Because you don't really know what's going on. You can assume, and y'all all know what assuming means, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, we got to
Tell us, Coach, what it mean, Coach?
Hey, I'm gonna leave that one right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all.
Hey,
man.
listen.
I ain't know nothing. Hey, I've heard about the show, man. Y'all got a great setup, man. I appreciate y'all, man, and everybody know I get to talk and get to going, man, and get fired up. But hey, man, my door's open, man. I ain't hard to find, man. I ride up and down Tuscaloosa. I'm all over the city, man. I be out. So if you got a problem, let's come talk ball, man. I get to work by 10 to 7. Man, let's get on that board all the time. I used to tell people, if you can't tell me what a 3 technique or 1 technique is, I won't talk ball with you, man. I don't want to talk to me now. You know what I'm saying? Talking about quarters, coverage, and all that. We know it's easy to say, Coach, y'all getting killed, but let's talk ball, man. We get to do it. Hey, the national convention come up. You more than welcome to go. You get to see your who's who of coaches all over the country, man. Have a good time, man. Get to, go out and learn, man. We learn. We go to clinic. And like I said, coaching is a judgment, man. And sometimes it stinks. But we working for our young men, man. We can't worry about the adults. Hopefully you got a job and doing the best you can. We're going to try to make sure. I tell every one of our kids, if you're not successful, it ain't nobody's fault. We're not blaming nobody. We're not blaming circumstance. Let's figure out a way to get you successful, man. There's so many resources out here today. Man, come on, man. We'll do better in the city of Gadsden, man. And I want to win a championship for our city. I can't wait to be downtown Broad Street coming through with that championship parade. Man, we're gonna act a donkey.
Yeah. Listen, I know you have to go.
District 3 a little bit too, though.
Yeah, exactly. I know you have to go. But we have a lot of people want to do something. They want to bring water, want to bring food. Can you give us a number they can contact you after you go off the show?
Hey, call me.
Direct
them. Give them my secretary's phone number, Miss Kelly Robinson, and she may be mad, but she won't be mad. She'll actually enjoy. 256-543-4245, or you can email her at krobertson@gadsdencityschools.org.
Get that number again.
256-543-4245, Miss Kelly Robinson, or email her at krobinson@gadsdencityschools.org. That's our athletic secretary. She does an excellent job with all sports at our school. And she'll do anything what we need. She's actually also over our media stuff in terms of getting out stuff on our school website and stuff, our athletic page.
Okay. All right. So we want you all. I think that we got that right. Is that the right number?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Contact that number there. That's the school number, right?
Yes, it is.
So you have to call tomorrow during school hours.
Yes, just call her. Hey, start by 7:30. She'll be in right there, ready to go.
Right, and that's the email address.
Yes, that's her email address.
Okay. Anything you want to say to Coach before we allow him to go?
Keep doing what you're doing, Coach. And listen, when we get in place, we're gonna do what we can to help you. We're gonna be right there.
Man. Hey,
Thank
we
you
appreciate
so much.
y'all, man. Hey, and I didn't know what was coming on to talk about, but I had a good time, and hey, but
that's what you do when you come on Real Talk, baby.
Yes,
we just do some real talking.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Hey, and go Titans, hey, man. And hey, together we are the Titans, man. Y'all, let's be good.
Are you traveling tomorrow?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes,
when is the next home game?
Hey, we'll be back for youth night. We want all the youth to come. Football, cheerleaders, everything. We'll be playing Buckhorn. That'll be our first region game. That's when the real season starts. We need just as many people out that night as it was there for the first game. So
what's the date of it?
It'll be the third. The night. Hold on. Let me look at it, Miss Tanya. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I give you the exact date. That'll be the 2nd.
The 2nd. September the 2nd.
September the 2nd. We're at home against Buckhorn. That'll be our the biggest game of the season for us right there. That's where we go to start trying to get in the playoffs and on our quest to win the championship.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. You have a good one, man, and good luck on the rest of the seasons.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Miss Latham, I know that you was asking the question, who is the band booster contact? Just if you would, anyone that just want to help out somewhere or with the football team, or even have questions such as that, just dial that number and they probably can direct you in the
To
area
where to
you need
go.
to go. Right. Uh,
So September the 2nd, people,
yeah, the youth night. Want
we
all
got to
the young
show
folks.
up.
Yeah.
September the 2nd.
And those that can travel, let's travel with the team. They need our support on the road as well as at home. But I hope that we got a better understanding of what it is, what it looks like from the other side of the fence. What it looked like from those individuals that are actually on the sideline, on the field, in the locker room, in practice, in the private moment. Rather than just from a fan and you being in the stands. We got to do better about being a supportive. Um, Remember, those that criticize, the same thing can come to you. We're not always successful. We're not always going to win back games. I didn't win a state championship when I played ball. We went to state one time in my senior year. We went to state my senior year on the basketball team, and you don't, like he said, you're not going to win them all, but can you win in life? Can you win in life? Can you win in life? And that's what we want our young men and women to do, is to win in life. I thank all of you for joining us on tonight. We had a record-breaking number of people that have joined us. We had over 125 people here on Real Talk as we had a conversation with the coach of the Gadsden City High School Titans football team, Coach Ali Smith. Y'all go ahead and flood the timeline with hearts and just appreciate Mr. Our Coach Smith. Go ahead and flood the timeline with hearts and let's support our Titans. That's the only team we have representing a high school that our kids attend, and we need to be more supportive. And if there's anything that you have that you would like to say to him, he's open for any conversations. Open for any conversations. All right, and we wish him well on tomorrow as they um, get ready to go down the road to play against Hewitt Trussell. Anything you would like to say, Bishop, before we leave?
Yeah, let me just quickly say I saw a lot of people putting comments up as far as congratulations. Thank you so much for your
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you so
Appreciate it so
much.
much. And I echo your words. Let's do what we can to support the Titans. And let me say this. If there's a problem and you illuminate the problem, then put yourself in a position to be a part of the solution. To be a part of the solution. People pick out faults and make little comments and whatever, but have you offered yourself to say, what can I do to help? What can I do to make things better? One thing I say here and listen to him say, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's doing that, but not, and so it could be that he just needs somebody to take the booster club, parents, friends of parents, relatives of parents. So as we move forward, I know I've been educated this week tonight on a number of things. And so I just would encourage us to, where we can, let me say this to the people who are complaining, and you're complaining real loud. Let's see what we can do to help. Let's see what you can do to help. And so I would encourage us to do that. And I would encourage us, because our children have Facebook pages, they are listening, they are reading. Let's work at being more positive for the sake of our children, even at the game, for the sake of our children. Because I have some nephews that play ball, and I've been to some of their games, and you know, they sometimes just when they lose, they're already in a bad place, you know.
Right,
And then you
right.
got to hear negativity and all of that. So let's do our part to stay on the positive side of this coin and remember that these are children and they have feelings. You know, Pastor Z, myself, Coach, we can pull you to the side and we can say what we need to say,
Right.
or we can give you the look or whatever. But these are children, and let's be mindful of what we're saying because they're listening. Thank you again for Coach coming on and all. It's been a good show. I learned a little bit tonight.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
did. I
I,
learned a
I
little
want
bit.
to say thank you also to all those that have congratulated those that went to the poll and actually voted uh, for me, and I just want to appreciate all those that went to the polls,
That's right.
exercise your the very thing that you have, the precious. Let me say this: there were some people that showed up at the polls, that they could not vote. Just the other day, and you know why they couldn't vote is because they hadn't voted in years. I want you to know this: they are using every chance they can to remove your voting rights. Your voting rights. They will start uh, 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 pruning, uh, uh, pruning, pruning the list. They'll start pruning the list when you're not going. That's why it's important to go every year. Go every year and vote when it's voting time. You need to vote every time it's voting season because if they recognize that you're not using sometimes they think that you don't exist anymore. You know, you got to think about that too. Then they take you off the voting list. Then when it's time to vote, you don't know that until. And as your auntie said, voter suppression. They're using every opportunity they can to do it.
So let me say this, since which is you said that, and Mark Dayton said it too. There's time for you to get that straight
Uh-huh.
before the next election. So if you
Exactly.
didn't get the vote, uh, do what you need to do. You already know there's an issue. Let's do what you need to do to get it solved by the runoff time. And if you don't know, then reach out to somebody and ask. Just ask somebody what you need to do. And let's try to get those issues resolved by September the 20th. And can I just say this too, as it relates to that? Let's work to get a better turnout. We didn't have 6,000 voters.
Right. I was just finna.
We didn't
I'm
have
glad
it.
you said that.
Take it up. We didn't have it.
I mean, 6,000, less than 6,000 votes,
Less than 6,000.
and we have 35,000 people, citizens in Gadsden.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. What I was expecting when the polls opened, when I rolled down toward the different polls, I was expecting people wrapped around because this is about to be a total change.
It's
You're about to get a new mayor, especially everybody voted for the mayor. So I was expecting all type of people everywhere, and when I tell you, it really lets people know who cares and who don't. I'm gonna be honest
unless
with you, it was very disappointing to me. Very
unless the
disappointing.
philosophy that people came up with at the last minute, we gonna wait until the runoff to vote.
And that's a crazy philosophy.
You know, if
Crazy.
that was it, then come on, we missed it. So we've already missed it.
Yeah.
So the only thing we can do is try to do better for the runoff. That's right. That's the website. That'll tell you your status and where you are, what you need to do, and then you can get that done in a timely fashion before September the 20th. And I just want to encourage the city. Let's get those numbers up. And Pastor, you're right. It's gonna look different anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna look different. How different is gonna depend on how we turn out on September the 20th.
Right. Well, we had to run off, and some of the candidates. I'm glad you said that, Mr.
Dexter.
Dexter. But some of the candidates did not make it to the runoff because of the lack of the turnout, the lack of the turnouts. And listen, we've been harping on it for years. And people have excuses that, no one excuse, my vote doesn't matter. And that's not true. That is not true. Please get that out your mind. If you're not registered to vote, become a registered voter. You can go here, and they have an app out that you can just get registered to vote.
It doesn't
Just
take
like
5 minutes to do.
Don't take 5 minutes. But we thank those that did, and we want those that did go to encourage others that that did not go to go. Okay. Okay, Bishop, we appreciate you, and we're so happy and proud of you. You worked hard, and I said this: you canvassed, and I know this for a fact. You canvassed more than any candidate that was on the ballots. I saw what you did, and I saw what others did. And I'm not taking away from them, but when I tell you, for a first timer, you couldn't tell it at all. You went all out, and even the day before, you was going all out. So hard work pays off, and I think the people recognize that. Again, we want to thank Thomas Worthy and Dedrick Williams, Councilman Thomas Worthy and Councilman Dedrick Williams, for them sharing how they shared at the council meeting today. They gave their hats off, and they actually wished those that'll be coming in to the seats that they feel. They wish them well, and I think that's just that's a great thing to do. Just to know that you have their support. So we're looking to see some great things take place. You and Pastor Steve, two preachers,
two bishops.
Two bishops. Y'all gonna deliver.
Wait a minute, let me correct some folks, because I'm not about the title. You can say
is it a popularity contest?
Listen.
You
need to quit.
Is
but
it
listen,
sanctuary or is it City Hall?
You see, you about to get folk in trouble. I tell people all the time, this is what I say. You all saw my government name, Tanya Lynn Latham. You saw it. But this is the way I feel about that title stuff. Hey, my name is Tanya Lynn Latham. But if you want me to call your man or woman of God, bishop, apostle, pastor, reverend, then you need to put a hand on my name. That's you understand what I'm saying? It worked both ways. So we're not hung up in all that title stuff. We hung up in doing.
That's what people think. People think that about you without talking to you and getting to know you.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they paint a picture of you to the public. And if the public didn't know no better, they'll believe that.
They'll think I tell the people, y'all beneath me.
Yeah, them lies. But listen to this. I'm gonna say this because there's a lot. I do not apologize for believing in prayer. And I know this is not a religious show, but I am a prayer. Matter of fact, we have prayer.
You probably supposed to be on in an hour.
Yeah, we pray every night on the prayer line. I do not apologize. And the results of prayer, or do you believe in prayer?
I believe that. And listen.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
I know Pastor Steve believe in prayer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And go pray.
So can I say this? The results of prayer has paid off.
Come on.
The very ones who have a lot of negative things to say about folks praying all the time, look like they didn't succeed. So I don't know if we're dealing with some atheists or some people who just don't like preachers. But why would you attack a preacher just because they desire to sit in a seat that would make Gadsden a better place?
Look, Look,
I just,
let me say this. 2 things. Thank you, Ms. Rowe. We pray. That's our prayer, to stay humble. And why you saying that? I need to say this, and I'm gonna be praying for myself with this. We say things to get in office. I didn't say something just to get in office. I'm praying that for the strength, the knowledge, the wisdom to do it 365 days, 66 ways necessary, all 4 of those years of that term. That's what our desire is,
right.
or whatever to do. And while you're on that note, I promise I won't say anything else. You don't apologize for believing in prayer. I said on my show last night, I'm not going to make any apologies for being a preacher.
That's right.
I'm not going to make any apologies for that. That's who I am.
Right.
And I've been doing it now for 24 years.
25.
And so I'm going to take the Lord right on into City Hall with me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I'm going to say this. When Joseph was thrown in the ditch, sold to the Egyptians, ended up in Potiphar's house in prison, and ended up being over the palace, you know what the Bible said every time he was moved from place to place? That the Lord,
you gonna make me,
the Lord was with him.
We're gonna pass the collection offering on this.
And because the Lord was with Joseph, watch what he says in, I think, Genesis chapter 50. He talked to his brothers. You meant it for evil, but God worked it for my good to do what? Save many people's lives.
Come on.
And people would have died, and even the place where he was at, had he not been put in position and was led by the direction of God. So we don't apologize, but I guarantee you this. I guarantee you Gadsden gonna be a lot better because we have some great people in position.
You have, let's call it what we call it.
Go ahead.
Because everybody may not be a preacher, but you got God-fearing people in position. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with God-fearing people. There's nothing wrong with God-believing people being in position. Why? We don't know. God's got the big picture. We don't know why God has orchestrated and situated people in position. I talked to Mark the Dayton. What's his last name?
Mark Dayton.
Dayton today. God-fearing. These are God-fearing people that he's allowing to remain in position and put in position. Let me say it like this: for a time
such as this.
Now we're gonna have to take up another hour and just preach this thing on out of here.
No, we're gonna have to.
We'll get in this.
We'll let that marinate. We'll let that marinate a little bit.
You ain't paper Bible saved then.
I'm not.
You smartphone.
No smartphone saved.
You smartphone Bible saved.
We love you all. We love you all.
That's right.
Thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for sharing. If you're on YouTube, we ask that you like and subscribe. Send the link to other people that may not be on social media. You can always go back and look at this particular show and other shows on Facebook Live, on Real Talk page, on also on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. So all of our shows that we've done in the past are on our YouTube channel. We thank God for you. We love you. And we pray that you have a wonderful night. Bishop, go ahead and tell them good night.
Good night. Bye, Pastor Z.
Bye-bye. See y'all later.